In 1988, Danny Axum conducted a study called Cognitive Dissonance and Behavior Change in Psychotherapy. According to the cognitive dissonance theory, individuals tend to see consistency between their cognitions, such as attitudes, thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, and when there is an inconsistency between the two, which is known as dissonance, individuals make an effort to decrease that dissonance by making a change in either their cognitions or behaviors. The present study examines the relationship between dissonance reduction and therapeutic change. The overarching theory of the study was derived from the aforementioned theory and suggests that when an individual puts in a lot of effort but doesn't get satisfactory rewards or results from said effort, it creates dissonance. This can lead to therapeutic change because committing to therapy that requires a lot of effort can create dissonance in the ways one reduces this dissonance can create therapeutic change. The purpose of Study 1 was to distinguish effort justification from alternate explanations, which it does by manipulating decision freedom as well as magnitude of perceived therapy effort. Another purpose of the study is to determine whether expectations about therapeutic effort has similar effects on the therapeutic outcomes to those of an actual effort given. The experiment used a 2x2 randomized factorial design with an external control group. There were two independent variables manipulated in the study. One was anticipated effort of the therapy procedure, and the other was decision freedom in committing to the therapy. In order to manipulate the anticipated effort, the information was framed differently for the high and low efforts in order to make participants believe the effort required was either going to be high or low. Decision freedom was manipulated in the preliminary information booklet at the end of the therapy description. A notice was added for high-choice subjects asking if they wanted to continue and reminded them that they were not obligated to participate. For the low-choice subjects, this was left out. The prediction of the first study was that the participants with a higher anticipated effort would lead to a greater reduction in the individual's fear of snakes, but only if they had a high decision freedom. It was also expected that a main effect would be observed for both anticipated effort and decision freedom. For the procedure, participants were first told that the study would consist of two parts. The first part would be where the procedure of the study were explained, followed by a second part, which would be a group session with two new subjects. Before the procedures were explained, each participant took part in a runway approach test to a snake. Participants were then given preliminary information booklets, which explained a therapeutic procedure of reciprocal inhibition for dealing with snake phobia. After reading the booklet, participants took part in a second runway test and then completed a reciprocal inhibition questionnaire. As a methodological control, participants were then probed for suspicion and debriefed. For the dependent variables, to measure subjects' approach behavior towards snakes, a runway test was conducted. For the runway test, each participant entered a room that had a snake in a glass case at the far end. The participants were told to walk towards the snake until he or she touched it, or he or she no longer felt calm.